Do not measure the love of God for you by how much health, wealth, and comfort He brings into your life. If that were the measure of God's love, He hated the Apostle Paul.
If all the verses of the Bible were lost, but John 3:16, we would nonetheless still have the Bible, because all of the verses of the Bible are contained in John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. The love of God has nothing to do with the object of His love, but the love of God is based on the character of the one who loves us. Jesus Christ, through God the Father, loves us. He simply loves us. There's nothing we can do to earn it. There's nothing we can do to deserve it. When we get up in the morning, He just loves us. Before we go to bed at night, He loves us. When we are doing things we have no business doing, He loves us. When we are in places that we have no business being, He loves us. This I know because the Bible tells me so.
In the days of suffering, in the days of loss, in the days of darkness, when it seemed that everything around our soul gave way, He showed up. That was what it meant to be loved. Not that the suffering went away quick, not that the loss ever went away. Christ came.
Because no matter what happens in this life, we're going to be with Jesus forever. If that's your hope, you can get depressed, you can get downcast, but you never give up.
One of the things that would probably help most people in this room right now is to find every verse in the Bible that talks about God's immeasurable, unconditional love. Memorize it, meditate on it until you believe it. Keep believing that God loves you as much as He says He does, and you'll not fear to come into His presence.
The whole Bible is a love story. It's a love story between God and man. God loves you. You can't pick up the Bible without realizing that God loves you. Now, you can't pick up the Bible either without realizing that God hates sin, and God's going to judge sin. But you cannot pick up the Bible without realizing that God loves you. This book is dripping with love and grace and mercy and forgiveness. When I look at Jesus dying on the cross, I see written in neon letters that the whole world can see, God is love.
But when my little boy was born, I'll never forget, he was old enough, finally got to the point where he could smile and hug and lift his arms up in the air. And I'll never forget, he was laying there on our bed upstairs. He looked at me, and the moment he looked at me, he went, there was not one doubt in that little boy's mind that his father was going to run over there, grab him, pick him up, and hug him. He had no doubt that he was loved. He knew. How do you think those things happen? Do you think that they come out of creation or they're birthed out of human nature? Why do those things even exist in creation? Have you ever wondered about that? God put them there. And why did He put them there? To tell you about Him. How could you dare think that you love a child more than God loves you?